Hello, everyone, and welcome to MediaMelt, the show where we talk about the media that is supposed to melt our minds, or in the very least, tries to. I am, of course, your host, Dylan Strickland, and today let's talk about Marvel Studios' Hawkeye. Here with me is Animal Crosser lover, Gabe Anderson. Animal Crossing lover, Gabe Anderson. How is your village, and how are you doing, Gabe?
I'm doing pretty good. Village is fine. You forgot to do the little tits, sticks, and silence thing earlier.
I have to cut that out now.
Overall,
you know what? I'm not gonna cut that out, Gabe. I'm not gonna cut that out. Little peek behind the curtain. Good. Let them know I edit it. Let them know I edit the sound.
Why wouldn't you?
Just going to give you guys a breakdown of how the show is going to go today. We're just going to go straight into it and talk about Hawkeye right off the bat. There's nothing else that we need to talk about before. I would also want to remind you guys that we are on Spotify if you'd like to listen to the audio-only version. I know it's hard to be on YouTube all the time, but if you are on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because it really, really helps us out. So, Gabe, let's get into the story of Hawkeye, man. So,
all right.
This 6-episode series. Well, first of all, before we get into the story, just tell me if you liked it or not, and then we'll get into detail specific.
I liked it overall. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna stand by what I said earlier, and this will be the most forgettable Marvel property.
Really,
I feel like, yeah. Next to the Eric Bana Hulk.
I just really didn't think you were going to bring that up ever.
Exactly, bro. That's how forgettable this will be.
Give me a second. I got to go get a napkin, bro.
For those at home, for those audio listeners out there, Dylan just literally did a spit take. And all it took was me mentioning early Hulk.
You think it's going to be forgettable, but you did enjoy it, kind of?
Yeah.
I think...
Like sex with your mother. Anyway,
hey.
Beep.
On the show, you're bringing that up? Stepdad, please. Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. I don't think there's any bad episodes, but I just think there are episodes that are just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's 3 episodes that are fine, and then there's 3 episodes that I think are actually really good. So
okay.
It's kind of so. But let's get into the story. So the story begins, clearly we have our introduction of Kate, who by the first 2 episodes, it kind of seemed like this show was going to be her show rather than Clint Barton.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the whole flashback to 2012 sequence, and then the introduction of the new Kate Bishop?
I liked it. I liked how it started off, showing that her dad was in some seedy business and all that. It's always good to show an Avengers level event on a civilian level.
Yeah, I like it when they sometimes I like it when they do this because it's we get a different perspective on what is an event we know very well. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen Hawkeye jump off the building several times, but I thought it was interesting how we got to see it from the bystander's point of view, kind of.
Right.
But I do think. I won't say which actress, or I'm sorry, I won't say which actor. But I do think some of the acting in these couple of opening scenes are a little. But then then we get into the title sequence, with the theme song essentially,
mm-hmm.
and it's the longest one. I think this is the only actual theme song in the entire season. How did you feel about that? It showed us Kate's history and stuff as it went through it, and it's very much like the Matt Fraction comic books. Did you have any appreciation for that or no?
Not really. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. It was cool, but
I guess I just wanted to know if you thought that was cool, Gabe. I didn't really have any crazy opinions on it. Besides these beautiful lions in the back of my screen here. So after that, then we get into what?
I said that one kind of thick though, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. um. Anyway, then we get into we flash forward and Kate Bishop's at the bell tower doing the shit with her friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we flash
Frank, bro.
forward for her. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this entire first episode almost focuses all on Kate.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't the biggest fan of that, just because I was really looking forward to getting a Clint Barton focused story. So this first episode did have me kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like the introduction with Kate and her mom, where we kind of find out her mom's married, and then from the beginning you can kind of tell that Kate's mom is going to be a bad guy.
Yeah,
there. I don't
so
know.
they
How do you
choose
feel about
the
this?
red
How do you
hair.
feel about the scenes with her marriage and basically Kate's whole introduction?
So by this point has the red hair, like the I forgot the guy's name already.
Armand
The Fitz
Armand the
Armand. Yeah, Armand the third.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do we need a fucking neon sign saying hey, he's supposed to be the bad guy? Red herring.
Are you talking about her husband?
Her husband.
The guy with the swords. Okay, Armand's the guy who dies.
Her
Jacques.
So her fiance.
Jacques Duquesne is her fiance. So Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an obvious red herring. I agree.
Yeah. He literally is the mustache twirling, ooh, I'm nefarious, blah, blah, blah.
He was, I don't know, because I started to kind of enjoy him later on, but then I kind of was like, okay. It was I thought he was going to be a red herring in the sense that Kate's mom was the one who killed Armand, but it was, but he was involved. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't think he was just going to be innocent, but at the end he was innocent.
Yeah.
But so it just makes me pose the question of why in this first episode was he going to this secret auction? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He goes to this secret auction, illegal auction.
Yeah, but he's a rich guy who likes weird rich guy things, you know? You think that Mark Zuckerberg and the Sacklers and Elon Musk are going to go to the same old auction that everybody else is?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, but it's just I don't know. It was I don't know. Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Then we get into, after the introduction of Jack and the whole, they're getting married scene. But did you like Kate? What were your thoughts on her introduction?
Yeah, no, I liked her overall.
Okay. So you kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's she gives me Hawkeye vibes, you know?
Yeah, I feel
in terms of I don't know,
the character.
It's the character. You can tell that, she's going to be a part of the Young Avengers later on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I don't know. It was very.
It's very. I don't know. She's not unlikable, but she's not very engaging the first time we meet her. These first couple scenes, I was just okay, I'm not really engaged. And I don't know if it's the writing or if it's just I don't know. Later it gets better, but in these first two episodes they released, I was okay. I don't know. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, very kind of bland almost, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then we move into the scene with Clint in the Rogers musical. And he's watching the play and noticing the Natasha stuff, and then he goes in the bathroom and sees
Thanos was right.
Thanos was right. Which, dude, I thought this joke was so funny because whoever wrote that was watching the play and came in there and
no, there was shit posting too.
Yeah,
there was
this musical's fucking terrible. I'm gonna go write Thanos was right in the bathroom. But what did you think of this whole reintroduction of Clint Barton?
I liked it. I liked, the whole hearing aid thing and like him being deaf now, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's comic accurate finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love how they explain it too. It's like, so what's with the hearing thing?
Yeah.
Or
Why did you lose your hearing? It's
why'd
just
you hearing? I was like, took a couple of hits.
yeah, and then they cut to all like the big ass
Yeah.
explosions. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought that was really fun. And it's also
Mhm.
it does give him a consequence that I really like. Like he's mortal, so he comes away with like the issues.
Yeah.
And I do like that, like how
Exactly.
it grounds him. Because I mean, theoretically, he would have. I don't know how this motherfucker survived that fall in game.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I just don't. I don't understand it. But
Hulk.
then yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? Like he falls like 300 feet or something, and then just lands on rock. I was like, okay, whatever. But
Mhm.
I'm glad that there is some sense of consequence. I do like that. Um, After that, then we get into the auction scene.
Mhm.
Well, Clint discusses like what he's going to do with Christmas with his family, but I mean, there's not much to talk there. And then we get into the auction scene, and then the fight sequence ensues with the wine bottles. Did you like this fight sequence?
I'm trying to remember this one.
It was like where she's like flipping the wine bottles, and there's one that she kicks on the ground, and it flicks up and hits him. She dresses in
Oh yeah,
she
yeah,
dresses
yeah.
in the Ronin costume, and it
Yeah,
looks really weird
it's
on her.
the whole call to action and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Meh, it is weird. Okay, so it's weird. She does all these crazy ass things, right?
mm-hmm.
And then once she's like around Clint later on, it's a little bit of a plot hole where like
Do you think her
they're
powers are
doing.
lessened?
It's very well. I think it's very much like she's kicking ass this scene, and then it's almost her powers are lessened throughout the series after
Hmm.
that. You know,
Yeah,
to an extent.
I feel you. I feel like they focus less on her acrobatic, like gymnastic abilities, and focus more on her like shooting abilities.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're lessened. I just think they kind of they kind of let it go. You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
let's not worry about her acrobat abilities and like her gymnast stuff. Let's worry about her shooting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess that's what she learned from Clint. So really, that's all there is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I can see what you're saying there. Did you like the? Did you? I mean, but this fight, the wine scene was kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
And then okay, well after that she goes and I thought it was I thought the wine scene was okay.
Mhm.
I think there's some weird like I kind of wish the suit like fit her way less better. Like I wish they
Oh,
made
it was like all baggy and shit.
yeah, like I wish they
That'd
made
be
the suit
funny.
an obstacle. Like maybe the
Mhm.
headpiece, since it's like spandex, fits perfect. So that way it's not like in her face or whatever. But it would have been kind of funny if she was fighting people and like had to like move her shirt around and shit because it's
Mhm.
made for Clint. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
So I
it's
was
made
just like,
for a 40, 50-year-old man and
yeah,
not
like
her.
it does look weird on her. Like it doesn't look right on
Mhm.
her. So like props to them for that. But I was just like, this is kind of weird that Clint is like a 50-year-old guy and Kate is a 22-year-old girl and it like is like form fitting.
Right.
But then we get into she goes and saves the dog. And then we move into the scene with where Clint confronts her for the first time. Well, there's this whole tracksuit thing, but then we move into the second episode where Clint confronts her. They get into her apartment, and then the tracksuit scene happens where like they throw the Molotovs into her apartment.
Mhm.
This entire sequence with the Molotovs and then them eventually escaping. How did you feel about this?
I kind of okay. That one was a little bit more interesting because like it's very much Clint being a hard ass to her. Like, hey, listen, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're a naive kid. I appreciate the sentiment, but like, no,
Yeah.
you don't understand what you've done. And like the whole time, it's these asshole Russians, which, by the way, I love these goons, especially like the
Bro,
Like, and then like how they end up like he ends up like catching one of the Molotovs and throwing it back or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, dude, when he punches his hole through the window and then
Oh,
catches it back and then throws it back, I was
mhm.
like, this is kick ass. Even though the tracksuits kind of being out in the middle of the street throwing Molotovs doesn't really make sense.
No, dude, like why would they just go up the front door? You
Like,
know,
no, well,
kick
not
it
even
in.
that. It's just like nobody on the street is like, holy shit, these guys are throwing Molotovs. Let's call 911.
Yeah,
Because they're like yelling, they're like, Kate Bishop, come and get this fucking, like, come fucking fight us. And then they clearly light these things and throw them at the building.
yeah.
And like a fire starts in the building.
Burn the
Like,
witch.
and nobody's like, oh, it was the tracksuit mafia. Like nobody calls 911. They just
Yeah.
watch it happen. I don't know. I thought it was a little goofy, but
Well, they do good for the community, Dylan.
yeah.
Nobody wants to snitch on them. And
Yeah,
all
that's
that,
true.
you know?
I do like the scene though where Clint like shoots the arrow and in the guy's Molotov and it like explodes in front of him on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, Clint is. I think the show starts to find its footing in episode 2 because I think that their chemistry is actually pretty good.
Yes, I will. That is the one thing about this show that is so solid is like their chemistry between each other because he's very much, the grizzled hard ass,
Yeah,
and she's still like young and naive,
inexperienced. Yeah,
inexperienced.
yeah, and I do
And
like. I like that it's kind of consistent. Like in the comic, like the Matt Fraction comic, Kate Moore has the upper hand. Really,
okay,
like she is like a little more um not advanced, but she's a little more ahead of Clint, right?
Mhm.
But in this they like flipped it and they made Clint ahead of it because he would be, and he's just like a fucking hard ass who like their chemistry really it starts to get good in this episode, but I think it really gets good in the later ones.
Mhm.
um but yeah, no, I thought this whole scene with him leaving the Ronin suit or whatever was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then they go to her aunt's house, who's someone from the Marvel comics, but it's not really anyone of significance. But they go to her aunt's house, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back and get my suit. And this is where he finds out like the LARPers have it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
How did you feel about the LARPing scene where he has to like go and fight the guys?
I thought it was very funny, but at the same time, there were points where I'm like, why is this in here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is this a plot?
Well,
I don't know.
We'll talk more about them in episode when we get to like the ending.
Yeah,
We're not quite there yet.
6.
Episode 6, yeah. Episode 6 starts to piss me off, kind of. But
yeah,
but the ending. But in this episode, when he has to go and fight them, and the dude's like, "Yo, let me kill you because you're an Avenger. Like, let me kill you."
yeah.
I thought that shit was actually pretty clever. Like, I was like, "That's pretty funny."
But if it was just this one scene, yes. Or like
Mm-hmm.
they go back and get their costumes later on and all that.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like that and this, awesome. But yeah. No, I agree. Like,
I
it was
agree.
very funny.
I think this scene is really good, but some of the other shit, we'll get to it in a second. I thought,
and like how he was like kind of kicking his ass, like, "Hey, bro, just understand, like, this isn't real. I'm doing this just to get my suit back.
Yeah.
This is like."
And he's like
your ass
when he's like fighting him, and he's like, okay, are you ready for me to kill you? And he's like, please kill me.
please kill me.
And he just like bows his head. And like,
that is one thing is Jeremy Renner has really good, like, just dry as fuck humor in this movie or show.
No, I'll agree. I think this is his best outing as Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
He's
he doesn't like not care anymore, but it's like he gives zero fucks.
Yeah.
Zero fucks are given throughout this entire series by him.
And I love that it's like in a grizzled way. Like it's not it doesn't feel unnatural. It's not like it's not like he doesn't give a fuck about the character. It's just like he knows where the character is at and the character wouldn't give a fuck.
he's the guy who's been working for the company for the past 12 years,
Yeah,
and
he's
the
been here since
manager
phase
walks up
one.
to him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The manager walks up to him. Hey, can you do this? I'm like, I'll do it. Don't ask me to do it again, or else I'm leaving, and I'll leave.
And then they come back and then they ask him again, and he's like, "I'll do it, but don't ask me again." Yeah, it's just like never ends. Yeah, because I do think he actually does care about the character, but I also think this grizzled like humor is so funny to me. And I think it really works against Kate's like giddy optimism. After this, he gets captured. There's not really much that goes on with her mom except for that fight scene with Jack, which is whatever.
Yeah.
So
he was hiding his fencing skills. Oh no.
Yeah, and he hands her the candy, which didn't have any significance. Do you know what I'm saying?
It didn't. Yeah, because like the whole
Armand candy, the third, and it had literally no significance on the plot after that moment.
Yeah.
Because to the audience, we were like, "Holy shit, that's such a big deal!" But like in reality, they literally never mention it again. So
yeah.
But yeah, so Clint gets captured, and then Kate gets captured, and then we get into episode 3 with the introduction, the flashback scene where they first show Uncle, who we know now to be Kingpin, which we'll talk more about in a second. But they this flashback with Echo and like her father. How did you feel about that?
So this is whenever we start getting into Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where this character was going.
Really? You didn't like this? You didn't like the introduction of her?
No, I love the introduction of her.
Okay, good, because I thought this flashback sequence was like one of the best things that the show did. Yeah.
But I feel like she is the second weakest part of the show. I did not like her. I don't know what it was.
Wow.
It was just the generic backstory of you killed my father, so you have to die.
Huh. Interesting. Because I thought it's interesting you felt that way. I kind of disagree with you. I felt some real like motivation because we knew she was looking for Ronan in the previous episode, and then episode 3 was like, here's why he killed her dad. And I was like, okay, well, you're right. It is like cliche in a sense, but I thought they played it off in a way.
Yeah.
In a good way. But I mean, that's interesting that you felt that way. I don't have a problem with her. I have a problem with Uncle, kind of. So, but we'll get there. Interesting you felt that way, though, that you liked the introduction, but you felt that it, like, her motivation throughout kind of
it was like her, I don't know how to put it. I don't know what to put my finger on it. Like where to, like, and I don't know where to say like that is what I didn't like.
Yeah.
You know?
I do like the deaf representation, though. I think her whole interaction where she's like trying to talk to Clint Barton, and he's like, "No, bro, I don't fucking speak sign language yet."
Yeah,
yeah.
I know a little bit, but
yeah,
not a lot. I know enough, dive so that way you can get to the water, but that's pretty much it.
So after the introduction, we get the scene where where she goes and talks to him, and that's where she tries to do the sign language thing we just mentioned. Did you notice the thing where when he's like, somebody killed Ronan, and she's like, who? He says Natasha Romanoff, but her translator like says Black Widow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought the whole like his like the whole thing where he's like Black Widow killed Ronan. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. I thought I liked that because it's like a callback to that scene in game. Yeah, I thought that was.
Don't do it. Don't give me hope.
Yeah, for real, dude. That scene is so like. Sometimes if I'm in the right mood, that scene hits like so hard. But sometimes if I'm in the other mood, I'm like feel so indifferent about that scene.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like some days I'll be like,
it comes so out of left field. It comes so out of left field, dude.
It's like sometimes I'm like, this scene is so amazing, and then like I'll watch it again like a few months later, and I'll be like, this scene is so average.
This scene is so ass.
Yeah. This scene is so ass. No, I don't think it's bad in any sense, but I'm just like, it's weird. I have complicated feelings with this scene where Natasha saves him, but I did like that they
Mhm.
called it back in this moment in in Hawkeye. I thought that was actually pretty clever. Then we get into
Mhm.
what I think is still the best action scene in the entire show.
Oh, yes.
This entire sequence where he's running away from the tracksuit mafia, and then they
Mhm.
knock his earpiece out so he's deaf, and like him and Kate seemingly work better when he can't hear her. I I thought I don't
Because
know.
they just have to rely on each other at that point. There
Yeah,
is no back and forth. There
yeah,
is no negotiation. So either he has to follow what she's doing, or she has to follow what he's doing,
and I
or
think
they like lab well.
you're exactly right. And I think the part where he's like sideways in the air and then he shoots the
Oh,
arrow and you see it like ripple through his face.
hmm
Like it's so kick ass, dude, with the Pym arrow and everything in it. I think this is by like when I saw this episode for the first time, I was so excited for next week. Like I felt like WandaVision buzz again. Like I was like, oh my God, this show or that episode was utterly phenomenal. Because of this action sequence.
hmm
In depth, Gabe, how did you feel about this entire sequence from the moment he breaks free to shooting her free, and then like the string with the bows as they're driving away, all the trick arrows they use, and like the eventual plunger onto the subway sequence? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was real. I thought it was really well done. I thought it showed how much of a threat Echo was. In terms of like her just versus Clint. Like you can tell that if he has his bow and a little bit of distance, like he very clearly has the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just up to close quarters, I think it was even match, if not, her
Mm-hmm.
having the advantage. I love it was a perfect setting for it as well.
Yeah, like
You
she
know,
reckoned that you're right, you're on something because she recognized that like him not being able to hear will be a communication problem, so she like took that out.
hmm
Yeah, yeah,
um, and then like it just being set in like a like toy recall center or whatever the fuck,
yeah. Where he's like
you
climbing on the
know.
shelves. Yeah.
And like the ball pit and all that, right? Am I? I'm not misremembering that, right?
No, he literally
Yeah,
dives into a ball pit and like
yeah.
swims through it.
hmm
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, those things always smell
No,
horrible.
bro, I can't. I feel so bad for him.
Mm. He's got pink eye now.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like Kate, because like, okay, I'm driving, you're gonna shoot. It's like, no, like I'm not gonna shoot. Blah blah blah. He's like, I can't hear what you're saying, so we're just
Yeah.
going for it.
I drive, you shoot. And she's like, no, I'm not. Or, dude, the fucking thing where he runs out of the building and he goes, I'm not hot wiring a 74 Camaro. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like where he skips the one car and Kate's like looking at the red car and she's like, why don't we take this one? It's really nice. And he's like, I'm not fucking
I'm not.
breaking into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. A 74 Camaro, get in.
yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And then do you have anything else you'd like to say about that?
Oh, and then I loved how like I loved Kate not knowing the trick arrows and her just firing them blindly, And
Yeah.
some of them were working out real well.
Yeah.
Others were like, ooh, that was a war crime.
Yeah. Like the one where like the goo like gets all over the windows and they're like use the
Oh yeah,
windshield wipers.
and just or the tree one.
The tree, yeah, it's so the trees. I think it's kind of
Almost good.
interesting that now there's this huge fucking arrow in the middle of like
Manhattan Bridge or
yeah,
wherever
yeah,
that was.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking big ass arrow. Oh no,
uh,
no. Yeah, I thought it was
which
excellent. Go ahead.
okay, so I'm gonna get it on a soapbox for a second here, real
Yeah,
fast.
go ahead. Go
Them
ahead.
particles don't make any fucking sense. They decrease or increase the air. Like, it doesn't
Theoretically,
decrease. Well,
theoretically, that arrow would weigh the same.
exactly. So it
Yeah.
would be like a giant foam. It was a giant Nerf gun,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bolt thing at that point.
However much an arrow weighs, it would literally weigh the same amount.
Yeah. So
I don't know. We're talking about shrinking people though, so it's like
well, and then his atoms grow so close together that he becomes smaller than atoms.
yeah, it's just It
Anyway,
will never make any sense.
no,
But
it won't. They tried their best to
I
describe it
think
though,
adding
or
that
explain it.
line, I think adding that line where the density thing
Hmm.
is like a factor actually kind of hurts the whole. Like, I know they probably had to do it to give some sort of like grounded reasoning, but that
Hmm.
line where it's like the density of the object is the same. So if you punch somebody, you'll go through their head if you don't like know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, they should have just found another way to explain it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's small. Hee
Yeah, yeah.
hee.
The pin particles shrink your atoms down, so you are just small. Like they should have said something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? They would have needed an excuse for him to be able to punch somebody and it still hurt.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, back to on topic. After this,
So yeah.
we get the scene where Clint like doesn't have his hearing aid yet, so Kate
Hmm.
Bishop has to like hold up the things when his kid's calling him and saying like you're gonna miss Christmas again.
Oh, that was so the dude broke
This
my
scene
heart.
is fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
this scene, I think this scene's probably one of the best, if not the best scenes in the entire show. Like
Hmm.
I was sitting there
When are
and
you
he's
coming
like,
home, Daddy?
yeah, he's like, and then his son's like his 4-year-old kid is like, it's okay if you can't make it for Christmas.
Oh,
And you
oh,
can see like it like breaks him. He's like, I love you. Like Clint Barton,
yeah.
like Jeremy Renner kind of comes through here acting wise.
Hmm.
What did you think about it?
Dude, yeah, it broke me. Like, it was such a good one. Like, him, like, just stalling and, like, because you can tell, like, he's so desperately, like, he wants to hear in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wants to hear what they're saying in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, and, like, in the first episode, like, you know, to go call back to towards that point, he only turns off his hearing aid whenever like he wants to zone out everything else. But as soon as any of his kids get his attention, he turns it back
Yeah, he
on
turns it back on to hear him.
immediately.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just like it was so well done and oh, God, I loved it. I thought it was so good, dude.
Mhm.
I just think they did that part so well. And it speaks to like the whole struggle. Like I love how he's like saying, "Oh, we're doing like the movie marathon. You're missing out." You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
I
Hmm.
just it's literally exactly like a soldier who like goes to war and then
Yeah.
doesn't
I
come
was.
home. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's just I think it's handled wonderfully. Um,
Yes. 100%.
after that, then after that, they go to um, what's her name? Kate Bishop's house. They go to Kate Bishop's house
Yeah.
and they start hacking on the computer, and then Jack catches them, which leads us into episode 4, where Eleanor, who so obviously is the bad guy, tells Clint like, "Please keep my daughter out of this," and she says that savage ass line about Natasha, where she was like, where Jeremy Renner's like, she's pretty good at this, like about Kate Bishop, and then like
Oh yeah. Well, so was
Eleanor,
Natasha.
yeah,
So was
Natasha
Widow.
Romanoff was
Or
pretty good at this, wasn't she?
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Damn. What gives you the right? Holy shit, lady.
Seriously, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then we get into the shit
Hey,
with
wait, what's that meme? Hey, yo, that was
that one. There was a violation, like that
yeah,
one.
that one there
Yeah,
was a violation. Yeah,
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, bro.
Literally, like she's so
Holy
fucking
shit.
mean. Look what I have, Gabe.
What the fuck? I don't know what I was expecting.
When the last thing you were expecting was a shake weight.
The jerk off machine 9000, bro.
um,
We don't know what it's
after
for.
back on track, Eleanor, after he leaves Eleanor's, we kind of get clued into what's going on with the watch. Did you think this whole watch thing with Jeremy Renner's wife was kind of predictable? Because I kind of figured it out. I don't know if you did, where it's like she's like speaking to him in like German,
Hmm.
and then he's like, "Yeah, I need you to track down these people for you," and she's like his guy in the chair, kind of.
Right.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I thought it was sweet. You know, that like because she needs to be clued in on a lot of this too, and I'm having to cover up my computer screen right now. The smut is going to ruin me. But like, I really, I liked how she was his guy in the chair. Like, she started speaking German so that way the kids wouldn't hear.
Yeah,
You know?
and they're like, it's dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's dad. It's
yeah.
work.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, but whenever you find out though that the watch has like all of their stuff on it.
Yeah, see, that was
It's like
kind of interesting. At the end of this
everything.
episode, it's revealed like because she was an agent of Shield, they like find out the information about her as an agent, and then they like find out about his family. Like we'll talk, we'll go back, but right now when Kate Bishop's like in the apartment, and then like she picks up the piece of paper and it's like all the kids' names. I was like, oh fuck. Because I thought I genuinely for half a second thought that he was gonna that, like they were gonna fucking nerf his kids.
Oof.
Again.
Oof. And this time there's no resurrection.
There's no resurrections this time.
Jesus Christ.
No, but yeah, no, I thought it was some interesting backstory for Laura. I didn't think it was crazy. It didn't really add anything besides the fact that Maya was threatening Clint's family. But I did think it was interesting that they would add it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't against it. I was just like, okay, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. After this scene, and then they essentially get back together. She finds out that Jack is the head of Sloan Security.
Right.
And then they get to the rooftop scene where they're working together and
right, they're trying to steal the watch back.
Yeah, they're trying to get the watch back because that's what they're doing. And Clint tells Kate, "Hey, we need more trick arrows." And so I think this is where they go and get the fucking police officers and firefighters help.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was this, bro? Like, okay, I get it. It's fine if you want to ask the police officers and stuff like that for like help getting our arrows back. But I was just confused as to why they would trust anyone who wasn't Clint himself.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me I, as a random civilian, could walk up and be like, I'm working with Hawkeye. Can you break into your security and get me like his arrows? And they would be like, oh, you're working with Hawkeye. We saw him earlier. Like, come on, I'll go get the arrows for you. Like, I was like, maybe Kate Bishop should have to prove that she's working with Hawkeye.
But these are also LARPers who willingly dress up and go fight each other in Central Park.
But Gabe, you and I would go and fight each other in Central Park dressed up.
Fair enough.
So you're telling me you and I would just let this happen? Like I'm not that fucking dense, am I? Maybe.
Okay, yeah, but somebody says, "Hey, I know Robert Downey Jr. You met him," and you're thinking now, "Ooh, I get to see Robert Downey Jr.'s dick again."
but listen. If somebody said, "Hey, I know Robert Downey Jr. I want you to go and steal from your job."
Yeah, right.
In order for you to hang out with Robert Downey Jr., go and steal from your work.
Hey, remember that seminar that you had to go sit through for like 3 hours the other day for work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to disregard all of that, about corporate or internal espionage and all of that. All right, disregard all of that and help me.
I don't know. I just thought it was a little half-baked that they were just like, oh, I'm going to let them do it.
Yeah, but yeah.
It was whatever. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah. But, they either way, they were going to get the arrows from the police officers. Mm-hmm. So I guess in the end, it really doesn't matter how it happens. At the time, I was just thinking this is kind of dumb. But then they go and this is where the altercation with Echo that we mentioned earlier happens. They're fighting Elena.
Oh my God.
Elena Dude. And Echo. And they're all fighting on the rooftop. And like there's several callbacks to when he... Oh, you know what? I'm skipping a huge part. The episode 4 is the one where they set up the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, that was real sweet. And they
Yeah,
get
it
like
was really, it was
drunk
a
on all the
really good scene.
daiquiris and like
Yeah, I thought this was a really
it's the
good
whole like
scene.
they flick the coin to turn on the
Mhm.
TV and all
Yeah,
of
I
that.
thought that was so cool,
Yeah.
dude. It's just like one of those things. Like, do you remember in X-Men, I think two, when like Iceman like freezes the beer for Wolverine?
Mm-hmm.
It's like shit like that in superhero movies is so cool to me because it's
Yes.
not like an actual
Yes.
use of their power. It's just like a cool like knickknack that they learn
It's
how to
it's
do.
it's the D&D RPing of the
Yes.
spell.
Yeah,
All that.
exactly.
You know?
It's like, oh yeah, of course he'd be able to do that, but like it's so not what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
God.
modern uses, like ordinary uses of like supernatural powers. It's just
Mhm.
fascinating to me.
I love that, by the way, of like Clint getting to the safe house sort of deal, and
Mhm.
just like throwing all the frozen peas on. He's an old dude
Yeah,
now.
he's
He
like
wants
taping them all up.
yeah. He's like, oh, my joints hurt. Let me
Yeah.
ice them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And the shit where they're just talking, but it's like
Yeah.
the best part of the episode because he's like, no, it's totally doable. You just shoot a wooden arrow before you shoot the metal arrow and
Yeah.
split it in half. And
Yeah.
it's like
It's
Kate's
like
like,
yeah,
I
it
beg to
has to be
differ.
wooden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and then he gets into the flicking thing because
Hmm.
she's like, well, what can you do? Like, is there anything else you can do? He's like, I can flick a like quarter and knock
Yeah.
someone out. He's like dime, and he like knows the specifics of it. He's like,
Yeah.
dimes are too
It
light,
has
like it won't work.
dimes are too light. It has to be a quarter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Penny is a maybe.
And then she's like, it's not true. You can't do it. You can't do it. Like you can't do it. And then he just fucking flicks it.
Hmm.
I just thought it was so cool. Like their whole like where she's teaching him. It's like little moments like this kind of make the show for me. Does that make sense?
Very much because like
Um, human.
it's the giraffe scene
Yeah.
from Last
In
of
Last
Us.
of Us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like moments of peace where the characters are just kind of there together.
Themselves.
Yeah, and like interacting together
Hmm.
before the shit hits the fan. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Yelena and but no, fuck, I need to talk about this too. The scene where he talks about the shot he didn't take.
The shot he didn't take.
Where she's like, what's the best shot you ever took?
The one I didn't
The
take.
one I didn't
Oh,
take. And it's
the
Natasha.
yeah,
Once
yeah.
again, I think he acts it brilliantly. Like I don't know. How did you feel about this scene?
No, I liked it too. Like you know, it did kind of throw me off because I watched No Time to Die again recently,
The movie's so
and so
good.
he says, as soon as he said the shot I didn't take, I was like, license to kill is also a license not to kill. Yeah.
That movie's so good, dude. By the way, I
It's so
love No Time
good.
to Die.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I thought it was excellent, and then it's mirrored at the end in this Kate and Yelena fight where like
hmm
Kate's pointing the arrow at Yelena, and then like Yelena looks at her, and Kate decides not to shoot her.
right.
Like I thought I really liked
Oh,
this.
I love their chemistry, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk more about
Holy
in a
shit,
second. But
dude.
how
Okay,
did you feel
actually,
about the reveal? Like just Kate, like
I
Yelena's
have.
reveal.
I'm gonna rewind about 15 seconds here.
Yeah,
That was the darkest fucking fight scene I have ever seen in my life.
right,
I did
right.
not know a single thing that was going on,
Like
dude.
I
And
rewatched
everyone
it.
was wearing black or
I
dark
know.
purple. Holy
I
shit.
rewatched it like 3 times, and it wasn't until like after the third time that I like properly understood what the fuck was going on.
Hmm.
Like I turned my brightness all the way up, and I was like, let me watch it again to make sure I understand it. Like the only thing that I could see was like her widow bites,
Hmm.
like when
Oh,
she's
as
shooting.
soon as I saw that too, I was like, oh, it's Yelena.
Yeah, and you can also hear her. I love that they did this. Like Yelena has a very specific like grunts when she's fighting,
Hmm.
and you can like hear her going like when she's fighting, and like she does the same move that she did on that one guard.
Oh, I didn't catch that, dude.
Yeah, because you couldn't even see it.
Exactly.
I mean, the action's good if you can see it. Like it's a really good time. I don't know why it's like coked in darkness. And then there's that one moment where like Kate gets thrown off, and he like looks over and he's like looking down at her, and you can tell he's just like triggered as fuck.
Hmm.
Because he's like he's like go get out of here, go, and like cuts the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
How did you feel about the
it,
Yelena reveal?
I saw like as soon as I saw the gauntlets, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I knew she was gonna be in this.
Yeah, you
know?
had to have, right? Like,
Yeah.
where else would she go?
How else
Yeah.
were they going to introduce her to the MCU?
Mhm.
Even though they already did with Black Widow, but it's like,
Where are you going to put her next, basically?
right.
And like
Well,
this story being so focused on Natasha's death, it just makes sense for her to be there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, but then I love that though. After she gets introduced and like Cohen's like, no, this is real shit now.
Yeah, because she knows those fucking Black Widow assassins mean fucking business, dude.
Yeah.
They are fucking hardcore, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that too. He was like, "You need to get the fuck out of here because this is about to be bad news."
Hey, like this is fucking this is the pros now. Like this isn't this isn't college ball anymore.
This isn't the fucking tracksuit mafia anymore. This is murderers.
Literal trained Russian assassins.
Yeah. But then we move into the next episode with this dusting scene, dude, with Yelena.
Oh, so good.
This shit is so cool, dude.
Which I liked it because like we hadn't seen it from. Well, we had.
Well, we hadn't though. Like we'd seen Monica, or not. Is it Monica? Yeah, Monica
Rambeau.
Yeah, we've seen Monica Rambeau come back and then, like deal with the aftermath directly after that. But we've never seen her like we've never seen her disappear then come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like seeing Yelena, like her like the water just goes through her hands. And then there's this subtle trick where she, like, when she entered the bathroom, she closes the door behind her. When she comes back from being dusted, the door is now open.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I also like because like the room changed. The room got dusted.
And it like flakes away like as she comes back. Oh, dude. I thought the dusting thing was just so cool.
Yeah.
Like
she walks in there like the Target that like she did the whole like I can't make that joke again. Her walking out and her friend that like they sprayed the whole like the anti-mind the anti-mind control stuff. And she's like, "Oh, you're back."
She's weird. Like Yelena, and she has like a kid now and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought it was crazy, and I like how the scene ends where she's like, "I need to talk to Natasha," and then it just like cuts to black.
Ooh,
it's like, oh, bro, like, can you imagine coming back like 5 years later and then just finding out, oh yeah, Jonathan's just dead?
Yeah,
like, bro, I can't even imagine.
It's like, waking up from a coma and like, hey, yeah, most of the people dead.
Yeah, for real, literally. When she's like, the Black Widow, after you disappeared, she left. Like everything about it. And then we get into this scene with Kate and her, and she explains like she's here to kill Clint. And like the thing, like it turns so fast, dude. I don't know. Florence Pugh acts the shit out of the scene where she's like, "Are you just saying my full name to show me that you know it?" And Florence Pugh's like, "Yes."
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's so good, dude. Their chemistry is so fucking good.
It feels like this is so weird. Like this is such a weird description, but it feels like they grew up in an abusive household and she's the one who got away first. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's kind of the feeling I get from them. Like, I am unarmed. Okay, I don't have any weapons in my hand.
Okay.
She looks down.
That is
also a lie.
Or the part where she's like, "What? This is crazy." like she's so charismatic. And I'm glad. I was really worried that next time we saw her, she was gonna lose that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, she kept it, bro.
But she keeps it. And I don't know if it's just the writing for her or if it's literally just her. But like in some ways, I kind of like her more than Natasha in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, in some ways, like she's just so, because she's got the same skill set, but she's like so charismatic about everything. I don't know. It's just,
Natasha was hard.
Natasha
she had a lot of heart about her.
She was stern. She's not the joke maker. She's not light. She's kind of like Clint in a lot of ways, but Clint's more bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
because he massacred half the the underworld.
Which I actually
Yeah.
found was kind of interesting, because they kind of delve into that in this episode where he, well, we'll just move forward. Jack gets arrested. Who
Yep.
fucking cares?
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
was like, but it is kind of weird how he gets arrested, where he's just like, "Oh, don't worry, darling, I'll be out of this in a second." I was like, "Is he supposed to be a bad guy?" Because it's
Yeah.
like, it's horrible if he's a bad
Mhm.
guy, like, but he's not. He's just supposed to be like a dude who just is oblivious to everything
Yeah.
going on around him. Which I was like, then why is he at an auction
I was
underground
yeah.
at a party? I was just like, it doesn't make any sense. And he's like talking about how Armand's gonna die. Like maybe there's more to his story, but they just didn't show us. It was just weird.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
weird.
Well, I thought his whole reason of being there, we'll get there later on, but like he was supposed to be the patsy,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I feel you. But
So he has like a little bit of criminal ties. So like,
but he's mostly just an idiot.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was
good at
fun. Like I
swordplay.
started enjoying him. I wasn't like upset. I was just like, it's such a weird character.
Yeah.
Then we get into you know, Clint getting his suit. He calls Laura. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go and put the suit back on." Then he gives this speech in front of the plaque. How did you feel about this?
Dude, that hit like that one was good. I liked it.
Where he's like, "And I'm sorry for what I'm about to do," and he turns around and walks away.
Mhm.
I just think anytime that he needs to bring it, I think he brought it.
Yeah.
Like all the emotional beats where he's like, he doesn't want to put back on the Ronin suit, and he like, but he realizes he kind of has to end this. I just thought that was excellent. And they play the Vormir song in the background. Like if you go back and listen to the scene when Natasha jumps in Endgame, it's the same music. It's the same music as when he's talking to the statue or like to the plaque.
Oh,
It's just, it's so good, dude. Like I think they just executed that perfectly. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we get into his basically clearly Clint has been playing a lot of the Arkham games because he takes out
Holy shit, dude.
he takes out these guards like Batman.
I know, like literally just it is like how they keep, what like there are guys flying across the screen. They stay like the camera doesn't move.
Yeah.
This guy he'll go check and he flies the opposite fucking direction.
Exactly. Like you'll hear a dude go and then you'll turn around and you'll be like, he's like turning around and then all of a sudden he's getting hit from the other side. I'm like,
Which
God damn,
holy shit. It also showed like how being deaf is such a deficit. And like being in terms
you know, I know
of
what
like,
you mean though. I know what you
yeah.
mean in situations like this, not in
in
life.
situations like that where
not in
somebody's
life.
stealthily like sneaking up on you because all they have to do is stay out of their
Like
sight
yeah,
line.
like she couldn't hear the bat hit the floor when the dude got
Exactly.
so he was able, so it's like Clint can get the jump on her. But I think
by the way, because we're kind of skipping over a scene a little bit here. How do you feel about Kit Harington being in this?
Kit Harington? Like Jon Snow?
Yeah. No, that guy looks a lot like Kit Harington.
Oh, what? Are you talking about her
No?
her side partner?
Yeah.
His hair is the same, but the dude looks nothing like him.
Like he looks like a skinny Kit Harington, like a not a skinny Kit Harington. No? Okay, whatever.
I get what you're saying. His hair looks exactly the same.
That's it.
But his face, I just don't think looks anything like him. Like if you mix Smeagol and Kit Harington, then maybe.
Yeah. What?
I thought he was okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I thought he was fine. I think his story gets a lot more interesting after the scene we're about to talk about, where Echo and Jeremy, that he like has to voice. He was like, "Well, there was an inside man that night.
Oh yeah,
we were just pawns. Like, I'm not your enemy. I'm just the dude who did the deed. I'm not the one who gave me the tip."
Yeah. And then we find out.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, this fight scene where she like utilizes her leg.
Oh,
like the swords. I thought that was fucking kick ass because she's not.
Hell yeah.
She's not a what is it? Amputee.
Yeah.
I want to be correct about this. She's not an amputee in the comics.
Right.
Like that's just the actress, and I thought they utilized like the way that they utilized that and made it a part of her history. I thought that was really really cool.
100%.
And she kicks ass too. So
Yeah,
but he doesn't miss a lick, bro. Ronan is 50 years old and still like at the top of his game,
dude. Yeah, like he is S tier of like the street level Avengers, dude.
Like
Holy
if he was fighting
shit.
Daredevil, I would still give it to Daredevil, but it would be probably pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Just because Daredevil never fucking give up unless you kill him.
Well, yeah, he's such a good lawyer too.
He's such a good lawyer, bro. God, I love Daredevil.
He's a really good lawyer.
Yeah, for real. Excellent lawyer. Then she gets tipped off, and the beef between her and whatever the fuck that character's name is starts.
Lieutenant.
I'm going to die in the finale.
Yeah,
and you know that. Who dies in the finale? I don't know. I thought he was fine. Did you like him?
Meh.
He was okay. Some of the scenes he was kind of funny in, like the car.
She needed somebody to talk to other than Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, like the bro dudes can't hold a conversation. But I did like the scene where Clint like has the best, like he got the best of him like over and over again, where he's like, "You're looking for the knife," and then he's like, "Can I have my gun back?" And Clint just fucking throws it.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was kind of funny, and he's like, "God,
you
damn
looking
it,
for the
man."
knife?
Yeah.
It took me a second to realize what you were talking about, but yeah, no, that was funny.
Yeah. So I mean, he's iffy. He wasn't. I mean, I don't think he was supposed to be anything crazy though, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then Kate and Clint decide to work together because Kate kind of saves his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Which was fine. I actually thought that was pretty natural. Because I didn't really feel like their split up was like an actual split up. I just felt like their split up was.
It's the third act. The best friends have to argue.
Well, yeah, I just felt like it was like a common argument.
Conflict.
It wasn't really like defining. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like something like, oh, we need to work through this. I just thought it was like, okay, well, they're going to be back together, and it's just like a sputter. And I'm glad they treated it like that. But then we get to the finale. Oh, after they reveal Kingpin, we get to the finale, and we see the first scene with Wilson Fisk. How did you feel about this, Gabe?
Which scene are we talking about
here?
We're
talking about the scene where Eleanor goes, and
like in the back
has the meeting with Kingpin. It has the meeting with Kingpin, and then Maya comes in after.
Dude, he kills it.
You think so, huh?
Because you can see how. Like you can see how like she's messing with him in a way,
and his eye twitches,
and then his eye twitches, dude, and then like it just slowly like grows from that, and then he just like loses it, after she walks out.
We need to make this city mine.
Yeah.
See, the first time, I'm gonna be honest, the first time I watched this, I fucking hated it. Like I thought, I thought his portrayal of Kingpin in this was a joke. I was like, this is goofy. I don't like the direction they're taking him.
You didn't like the Hawaiian shirt, bro?
That was one of my biggest things. He looks like a fucking goober.
Which I think it's the holidays, bro. He's about to go on his cruise.
But he's also that's also from the comics. Like that look is a like specific look from the comics. So after calming down, because I'm a diehard Daredevil fan, I took a second and then I watched it again, and it's honestly not that bad.
No.
Like it's pretty palatable. Like I would like to know why he's like this, because this was a man of like
stature.
Like, yeah, he was a man who wore like satin clothing, and he's like, sleek and like and style is his like MO. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we know it's likely the same guy since he has that.
He likes the best of that high society has to offer him.
Like it would be interesting if they were like, oh, he got blipped, and then like he lost all his power, so now he's working in this shitty shop.
See, exactly. I was thinking that too. Why the fuck is he in the back of this sweatshop?
Yeah,
like he's always been the guy behind the scenes. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I was like,
you're doing everything for him.
That was one of my issues. I was like, well, what the fuck is this? Like, why isn't he in the highest of highs? Do you know what I'm saying? But then I thought, like, I was like, maybe there's an explanation. He got snapped. He lost everything. All of his contacts moved on. There's a new guy in charge, and he's
Right.
running the tracksuit mafia because they're the only one who will work for him, and they're fucking idiots. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so he's like trying to get back up there. That's why he's like, I need to make this city mine again. Is because, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I like that. Well, and it could also be
He's coming back from prison after season
Right.
3 of Daredevil.
So
I beat you.
Oh my god, such
No.
good.
You're not gonna fucking get Foggy. You're not gonna get Vanessa, or no, you're not gonna tattle on Karen Page, because if you do,
So,
I will
is that
find Vanessa
canon?
and I will kill her.
Is this still canon or no?
Well,
We don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying. So it kind of seems like it is, because it's the same actor, and the thing that Kate Bishop flicks at the end
Mhm.
is the lapel. Like it's his father's lapel.
It is, yeah.
So like
Cufflinks.
it might be, they might have been like, okay, time jump. We're gonna do like a
Mhm.
soft reboot, but it is necessarily the same guy.
Okay.
And that's what the actor said. He was like, yeah, I'm playing him. There's a couple of differences. Clearly, he's a little bit stronger now.
Right.
But emotionally, I'm playing him as the same character.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, like as long as they don't do anything that directly contradicts it, that's canon. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they come out later and they're like, no, we're doing a fresh take with a little bit of influence, then I'll be like, okay. But I mean, the lapel's there. He talks the same way.
Cufflinks.
When he's talking, like you feel like it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Minus the part where he's wearing that stupid ass fucking hat.
Oh, you don't want the Panama hat with the
horrible, bro. It was one of the things.
Dude, he was about to go on a South American cruise for the holidays, bro. He's just getting ready for that.
I just thought it was fucking awful, dude. The first time I watched it, I thought it was terrible. Second time, it bothered me less, but I was still like, huh. And he's not that different from the King. I mean, he's not like, he's a little bit stronger, but really, is he? Because he was fucking throwing around bullseye like it was no problem in that season.
Oh yeah.
And also like the part where he lives through the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, this is fucking bullshit at first. I was like, fuck this. I'm not fucking watching this dumbass shit. How would he have survived that if he was a normal guy? Well, if he has that fucking Kevlar,
that Kevlar suit.
Yes, Kevlar suit on, then that's completely feasible, especially in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad enough for me to like the second time watching it. It wasn't bad enough for me to be like, this is awful. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's still places to go, and I'm excited to see where they would go. And hopefully, if they ever do introduce Daredevil, it'll be fucking awesome. Right?
Yeah. And then later on, John Bernthal coming back to reprise his role.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully Punisher comes back too.
Oh, dude.
It's going to be hard to do Punisher, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to do that, but I hope he does, because that TV show is just phenomenal. But aside from that, I've talked a lot. How did you feel about Kingpin representation outside of what you said, it being good? Well,
no, I enjoyed it. Outside of the whole, him wearing a Hawaiian shirt with the Panama hat and the cane and all of that.
The cane wasn't so bad. But
No.
the Hawaiian shirt really threw me through a loop.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I saw him in that. I was like, oh, it's the holidays, haha. He's about to go for a cruise or some shit. That's my head canon. He was about to go off with Vanessa off to the Poconos or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, what if, since he seems like he's lost everything, wouldn't it be interesting if he got blipped and Vanessa didn't, and she kind of moved on?
Oof.
And so he's all he has to focus on again is getting the city back.
She can last through what do you call it? Like witness protection, but she can't last 5 years of no Wilson Fisk. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I thought it was bad at first. I've warmed up to it. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was. My expectations were too high. And it's definitely there, man. Like the way he talks to that one dude is just, it's there. So not so bad. But after that, then we move into they're going to the dinner party. You know, they're there with the LARPers. They're like team. They're
Oh my god.
Oh well, no. First they do the arrow building scene, but I mean, there's not. Really
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, the trick arrow thing.
Because like it's like you can tell he MacGyvers it. You know,
he does.
He's not Tony. He's no Tony Stark, but he knows how to make his own makeshift bomb.
He's just like hot wiring with this like tiny welder. And I thought it was fucking funny how like a lot of his arrowheads are like other people's inventions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was fun. I thought it was, you know, cute little fun scene. And then we get into, you know, the dinner party scene like I was talking about. Eleanor's there. We know she killed Jack. She admits that, but it doesn't really fucking matter because who didn't know? Or not Jack, but Armand. And then fucking Jack is there. I don't know. Did this bother you?
Oh, he's already out of jail, bro.
Yeah, he's out of jail, which is whatever.
He flames the fuck out of that little toddler, dude.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
He roasts the shit out of him. He's like, remember that time you fucking pissed? Your pants? Like, I don't know.
Dude.
I kind of started liking him when I realized he was just going to be like a fucking goober. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a lot more likable when you realize he doesn't really... Like,
he doesn't know what's going on either.
Yeah. But then we get into, you know, the whole thing with Clint and Kate, and then Kate and Yelena kind of duke it out in the elevator, and then down the side of the building or whatever, which I'm going to be honest, their chemistry is excellent.
Dude, right?
Like, it was great in episode 5. It's even better in episode 6. Like the part where she rips, like they're fighting, and then like Kate slaps her.
Yeah, she goes like, that was uncalled for.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
And Kate's like, I don't know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like you can tell it's like it's the cute little bunny rabbit like slapping the fuck out of a wolf.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because at any time Yelena could just fucking kill her and it wouldn't be.
Oh yeah.
But Yelena's not that type of person.
No.
Yeah. And the part where she's fucking like she throws the thing in her hand and she's like, ow, fuck. And then she's like, and then they have the whole conversation. They're like, oh, I like that little kick move you did. And she's like, yeah, what you did with the whole like banging thing, that was good. And Kate goes, stop making me like you.
Yeah. Stop making me like you.
Yeah. No, I just thought that was great. And I'm glad it was great because there's gonna be the new Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah.
So like it was really good. Like it was really awesome to me that they had good chemistry because I was like, we are gonna need that.
Yes.
Like Clint and Natasha have such a distinct chemistry, but it's more like overhearing your parents kind of, not in like a bad sense. Like they are funny, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them, like Kate and Yelena is more like kind of our age people talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes. So I just really enjoyed that. And then we get into Clint jumping into the tree. How did you feel about him jumping into the tree?
Meh.
Exactly, bro. Like, I was kind of upset with this because I was like, our lead character is stuck in a tree for 5 minutes of the finale.
And that moment, the LARPers do more than he does. Dude.
And then, yeah, you're right. After this, the LARPers decide to put on their LARPer costumes to help move the people.
Yeah, what?
Gabe,
what? Excuse me?
Gabe, these are police officers and firefighters.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just put on the police and firefighter uniforms? It's so stupid. Like, I was just sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, you're telling me New Yorkers would rather listen to LARPers than their police and firefighters?
Yeah.
I just was like bewildered. I was like, I can't believe this is I just thought that was the dumbest thing that I think they did in the finale. Besides,
and then they end up like
in a second.
They end up taking out like some of the tracksuit mafia too.
Yeah, which was kind
That
of funny
one,
with Jack. That was kind of funny when he just shows up and just
oh
starts killing people.
yeah, they're like, is he on our side? I think so.
But we should probably get him out of here.
Yeah, but we should probably get him out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carving him up like the Christmas turkey. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How did you feel about the LARPing thing? Did you think it was as stupid as I did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of them literally does a belly bump to knock him out.
I know. And then they start assaulting people. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
So as if like,
I don't know.
stealing from an evidence locker isn't already bad enough. You're gonna be an accessory to vigilanteism.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm pretty sure none of this is happening within the terms of the Accords. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was absurd. After that, we do get the kick-ass scene, I will admit, where Clint rips off the uniform and she's like, oh my God, you wore it. Like, I thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole action sequence with them like shooting the arrows and shit is, how'd you feel?
So good. It was pretty good. Because like they're actually Hawkeyeing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're actually shooting arrows at bad guys, taking them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I really like that one part where Kate like uses the bow as like a thing to flip and then like does the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And they're like, oh my God, some of it's brutal, dude. Like where he shoots that guy in the leg and then his leg turns into like ice.
Oof, yeah.
Like that dude's fucking dead.
Well, no. His leg is gone though.
But it's frostbite, Gabe. Like surely that hit the artery. Like he's done.
You amputate and move on. You know, go hook up, go call up Stark Industries and get a new robot leg.
I guess. Okay. Then Kate goes on to fight Kingpin, which we already kind of discussed. Did you like the fight scene?
Nah.
Yeah, it was all right. It was okay. It was mostly just him throwing her around.
Yeah, exactly.
And getting hit by a car.
My God.
Which was fine. I mean, I just thought it was okay. But there's that fucking shot. And I think in my opinion, it's the coolest arrow thing that we've seen in the MCU, where he shoots the arrow and then splits it with the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And it like hits the three dudes. And then the one guy's like, nice shot. And he's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. I love every time somebody tries to give this man a compliment throughout the whole series. I was like, I don't need you. It's like,
I don't need your validation, bitch.
What's the whole fucking alpha beta? He's the Sigma, bro.
He's the Sigma male.
He's Sigma male mentality. You don't need compliments from anybody. Like, yeah.
No, I thought it was
no shit.
No shit. It was a fucking nice shot. I thought that was so funny. And then, he gets into the altercation with Yelena. How did you feel about that? Did you like him and Yelena's fight?
I'm trying to remember that now.
It was kind of emotional. Like he was basically just defending. Like he wasn't trying to attack her. And he was telling her all about like.
Yeah, he's like eventually like, this is what's happened.
Herself. Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, why? And then it comes to the emotional resolution of her like helping him up and being like, and because he does the whistle thing. How did you feel about all that?
I thought it was good. Like it needed to happen.
I just was like, the information learned. Part of me felt like Yelena should just know that.
Yeah.
Do you agree, or was it like, I don't know?
I feel like there's a difference like between knowing and understanding, and she now understands.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like she heard that Clint comes back with the stone, and Natasha died. Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So she has to blame somebody.
I think it's acted well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you. It was good, not crazy or anything. No tears, but I thought it was good. Then we get into Eleanor gets arrested, which is like, I mean, how did you Kazi? That's her. That's his name. The Kit Harington dude, Kazi.
Kazi, yeah.
Sorry, I just remember that. Eleanor gets arrested. How did you feel about her getting arrested? Like,
yeah, deserved it.
Yeah, I was pretty unmoved. I was like, well, I don't
Yeah.
really like Eleanor.
Again, it's the Jeremy Clark scene or thing of like, oh no. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
uh,
shit happens. And then Kazi dies. How did you feel about that?
oh no. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, exactly. And
how does he
then
die again?
Maya and him fight, and she just stabs him. It's like a 2 second fight, and he just like
Oh yeah.
it ends before it even begins. Um, then we get into the Maya and Kingpin thing where she shoots him.
Oh, that's right, Maya. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
because
she
he's like
shoots.
trying to like
He's trying to
appeal and
hobble
all.
away, and then he says, "We're
Yeah.
family." And then she pulls up the gun and shoots him, and you can hear his
Hmm.
body at the floor.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this, Gabe?
Is he dead?
Well, I'm going to be honest. If he is dead, this is by far the most disrespectful and worst handling of a character that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
However, in the comics, the exact same scene happens. He gets shot and he's just blinded for like two or three comic issues.
Interesting.
So like, I mean, it's literally like almost
Well, and
word
yeah,
for word.
he's much stronger. So like
Yeah.
maybe
Hmm. It's literally like almost panel per panel, word per word, the exact same scene.
and she was using a 9 mil. So like, imagine getting killed by a 9 millimeter. That's kind of cringe, bro. One
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, that's totally beta.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid.
uh,
No, but I mean, if he is dead, this is fucking terrible, and I will
yeah.
stand
No,
by
I
it.
I I will agree with you on that
And it's
wholeheartedly.
honestly
I will stand
ridiculous.
behind you
Yeah,
on that.
because but there's just no way. Like it's Kingpin. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I think they're just gonna go with the either he's unaffected or somehow maybe he like fought her off or he's just blind.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Harry
we'll see
Houdini
about
that shit.
that. I'm thinking he probably comes back in the Echo show.
Oh,
Um,
that's right. She's getting her own
mhm.
series.
So I think it's likely that he will be in that, and I hope he is.
Hmm.
Because if he's dead, man, I'm gonna be
Oof.
really pissed off. Like
That's a oof for me if he's dead.
really fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Such a good villain.
he's such a good character, and he like if they're gonna bring Daredevil in to have Daredevil but no Kingpin is like fucking terrible. Do you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Oh yeah. No.
Like like you have to have them both. Like they made that show.
Well, and
Um,
like it's such a good reason too of like so of like tying like him and like him and Spider-Man having a movie together and going against Kingpin. You know what I mean?
oh god, that
That would
sounds
be
so
so fucking
fucking
good,
good. That
right?
sounds so fucking like maybe he enlists some of Spider-Man's villains and then like Spider-Man has to beat those villains, but then like Daredevil and King and Spider-Man have to work together. Dude,
Exactly,
oh my god,
dude.
that's just gonna be so
Right?
hype. If Daredevil comes back, that's gonna be so fucking cool.
Ugh.
But if he's dead, I'll hate it. But let's
Hmm.
move forward. I think we've said our piece.
Yeah.
Then we get the end scene where we find out Laura was indeed the agent of Shield. Um,
Jill.
and Kate comes home with Clint, and they celebrate Christmas together. How did you feel about the ending?
Oh, it was sweet. It was.
Yeah,
They made it home for Christmas.
yeah, I kind of like that, and it wasn't like a just-in-time thing. Like he arrived on Christmas
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, the clock struck midnight on Christmas Eve
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
all is
yeah. Like they were all happy to see him, and
yeah.
like,
He
yeah,
made it home for Christmas.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great. It
Yeah.
was really kind of heartfelt and kind of closed the show out nicely. Um, if you had to say you had a favorite part, Gabe, what do you think it would be?
Hmm. My favorite part, the daiquiri scene where they're just like chilling, hanging out, like
Yeah,
taking
hanging
a
up the
beat.
Christmas trees and stuff.
Hmm.
Like where she writes on the white, like the painting, and then like can't get
Oh
it
yeah, it's
off.
like that's not dry erase, is it? And it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, she's like wiping on it. I just realized I don't have the camera on. And I was like miming it without saying anything.
Yeah.
Mhm. Good job, Gabe.
Yeah, no, I thought that was nice. I would say my favorite, I want to say just all of episode 3 because that episode's phenomenal.
Hmm.
But if I had to pick a specific moment out of episode 3, probably the scene where he can't hear his son.
Yeah,
It's
that
pretty
one
good.
rough. It's rough,
Um,
buddy.
but let's get into post-credit scene slash sequel thoughts. I'm just gonna be honest, Gabe. This is by far and away the worst fucking post-credit scene I've ever seen for a finale episode.
Yeah, same.
Like, I don't
What?
want
What?
to go too hard on it. I get it. Like,
Nah, go hard, bro.
but it's like
Hard in the paint.
it's just like I get it. There are joke post-credit scenes, and I like a joke post-credit scene if you give us something else. Like if it was a joke post-credit scene and then they pan to the audience and like Spider-Man sitting there and he's like, "What the fuck was this?" Or like
Yeah,
Daredevil
or Dead
sitting,
Dove. Yeah.
yeah, Daredevil sitting there and he's like, "God, I'm so glad I'm blind right now." Like, like something, anything, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it's literally just like the thing that we already saw enough of. Like I was like, the gag is funny in episode 1 because it's it doesn't overstay its welcome. But I didn't want to see the whole thing. Like maybe as a YouTube video, if you put it out there, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll watch this. But like as the post credit scene for the finale,
Yeah.
like tease a season 2 or tease where we're gonna see these characters next. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm being greedy because I'm an MCU fanboy and like they always do that. But for this one, they didn't, and it just feels kind of
Well,
weird.
I mean, Far From Home's second end credit scene was literally just a trailer.
You mean no way home?
No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home was
Mhm.
literally
That's not
just
really
a
a spoiler.
trailer.
The trailer's out, so that's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but which is fine though because it was a trailer for a character we saw in the movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
So it's like, and then they tease at the end. They're like, Doctor Strange will return, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, cool. I'm ready to go see Doctor Strange. Um, but in this, it's literally no one. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna see these fucking I can do it all day actors again.
Yeah.
I just thought it was ass. I was like, okay,
They
well,
were definitely the weakest part of this.
the post credit scene was.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It wasn't a tease. It wasn't very funny after the first 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was literally a 5 minute post credit scene of I can do this all day, and I was like, okay, I understand.
Cool. Yeah.
I understand. I get it. Thanos is right.
Yeah.
But do you think there's going to
After
be?
this post credit scene, he is.
Yeah, for real, for real. Do you think there's going to be a season 2, or do you think maybe this is a one off and we're going to see him?
I think it's a one off. They're going to continue the story in different ways, sort of deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Because this was, I think, the least popular live action Disney Plus show so far.
And like, I don't know, it was good, but like I said, it's going to be the most forgettable one, dude.
Yeah, besides the fact that Kingpin's back, I really enjoyed a lot of the character beats, and I'm glad that Kate Bishop is introduced. She did come around.
Mhm.
Like the first 2 episodes, I thought it was kind of just whatever, but in the last 4, I was like, oh, I kind of like her, and I think she's a nice compliment to Clint. And
But it's
I love her and Yelena. Like her and Yelena were great. What were you saying?
all of WandaVision was memorable, dude. Like there was never one point of wonder, or not one point, but like there wasn't an episode of WandaVision where like, oh, that was bad, blah blah blah. You're gonna remember WandaVision. You know?
I think that's true for like the other 2 as well. I think it's
And then, like,
you're gonna remember Falcon and Winter Soldier or Loki.
dude, they have such good iconic moments, like in Falcon Winter Soldier, whenever he has the shield. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That exactly what I was gonna say, dude. The shield, like him literally just cutting that guy's head
Mhm.
off with the shield.
Mhm.
Loki, just him wanting to fuck himself.
Yeah.
You know, like
I would say from this it would be Kingpin or the part where he splits the arrow. Like those are the
Yeah.
2 coolest things that will be like, holy shit.
but
And Loki literally fucking splits the universe in half. So you're like,
yeah,
yeah. So I don't know.
like what is it? Oh, what is it? Ultimate purpose, and like he has Asgard behind him.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like it has all these awesome moments and beats, but like this one, it's like they're character moments. It's like it's down to earth. They're like,
Which I like, but I just
yeah,
feel
same.
I just feel like it wasn't really.
It's the most
Some of it, because some of it was delivered in a way that I didn't really feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really like. I don't know. I'm just not. I want to see Kate again, but I'm not like dying. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like oh, I want to see them again. Yelena, I am just because she's so fucking likable. Like I'm like put Yelena put Yelena in everything. And if Yelena's there, I would want Kate to be there because their relationship was so good. But Kate's relationship with her mom, I felt was like underbaked, and it just wasn't for me. So I was like, okay, well,
Kate she'll be a warm welcome, but it's not like I am actively like, oh my god, when is she coming out at next? You know, there's
Yelena,
not a lot of anticipation.
I'm like, Yelena will be a pull for me to see something right now. Kate might get there, but she just wasn't there yet for me. And if they do bring Kingpin back, I would like to see a little like writing a little closer to the way he was in Daredevil. But yeah, I don't know. I think an interesting thing that they could do in season 2 is maybe some sort of like rivalry between Clint's daughter and Kate.
Ooh, interesting.
Because like when Kate comes in and Clint's like, Kate, come here, I want to show you something. And he goes and burns the Ronin suit with her. If you look in the background at Clint's daughter, she kind of gives Kate like the
who the fuck are you vibes.
Like really, I was the only daughter and now I'm kind of being a little bit replaced. Because you remember the scene at the beginning of Endgame where like Clint's teaching his daughter how to shoot.
And then she disappears.
Yeah. But now it's like Clint has a daughter who can shoot.
Yeah.
So it's just
so I don't have to teach you anything. You can go off and do whatever you want, honey.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
what's your name? No, seriously, what's her name?
I don't actually know his daughter's name.
It's not Laura, is it? No, that's his
Laura's his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he calls her Hawkeye. He's like, go get your arrow, Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
What is her name?
Oof.
I remember the little kid. The little kid is Nate.
Yeah.
But the daughter, I can't remember her name. So I mean,
big fan.
I don't. It's the Russo brothers' daughter. So whatever. But anyway, do you have any ideas as to where we'll see them next and how they will be used?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it though. I will admit I am excited to see it. Like I'm not against it at any point. I don't hate any of the characters, and I'm actually kind of excited for the Echo series just because her comic powers are pretty cool. She's kind of like Taskmaster, Gabe.
I was about to say, yeah, she's like Taskmaster, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like she can mimic people. Which she kind of does a little bit in that flashback. She beats the dude in karate by like memorizing his move. So I'm excited to see the Echo show, especially if they're going to bring Kingpin in. If he's dead though, this will move to the bottom of my list of TV shows. I'm being serious. Like I thought What If was okay, like 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think this is like 6.5 to 7 range.
Mm-hmm.
If they killed Kingpin like that, this is gonna be a 2.
Oh fuck!
Like fuck this show. Like honestly,
damn.
Like
burn it to the ground.
Like the first time I watched it, I was genuinely like, that was so disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, that is disrespectful to the entire family.
Come on,
of Daredevil.
We're family.
Exactly. I was like, this is so disrespectful to everyone who watched Daredevil, everyone who was involved in creating that show, because I thought he was genuinely dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a TikTok that was like, actually, this happens in the comics, and he's likely alive. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But when they killed him, I was pissed. Like, ask if you ever get the chance to talk to Olivia, ask her about the night that I watched it, because she was she was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything. And I just want to forget it ever happened.
I'm mad at a TV show, babe. It's okay.
It's like getting mad. It's like getting married in Vegas. You never want to remember it happened.
Oh,
like, I don't know. I was mad at the TV show though. I'm mature enough to admit that, and immature enough to get mad at it. But okay, we'll sign out of here, Gabe. Right. Nobody's gonna reach out and find you. I keep forgetting that.
Nope.
But that will conclude our show. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. And add me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews. We are all appreciative of you. listening. And we hope to have you back in a couple of days when Gabe and I return to talk about The Witcher Season 2. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you then. If Kingpin's dead, fuck this show.
Bye.
Bye.